Good morning, students. Welcome to Panda Sir's virtual class on microeconomics for class 11 commerce. And today we are going to discuss a new chapter called consumer equilibrium. So before discussing this chapter, just I would like to remind you some topics and some concepts that we have already discussed in our previous classes, like human wants, that is unlimited, and why human wants different goods and services, because he or she wants to derive satisfaction by consuming those goods and services. And who is the supplier of the goods and services? It is the producers who add value to raw material or basic things and produces something that is more useful or something that has a better potential, a greater potential to satisfy human wants. So all these things we have already discussed. So today we are going to discuss consumer equilibrium. So before going ahead, before discussing something more about consumer equilibrium, we must understand the term equilibrium. What exactly we mean by the word equilibrium, and what is actually meant by the word equilibrium in economics, where a consumer is consuming and a producer is producing. So what is equilibrium? So just try to understand. Equilibrium is a state of rest where the oppositely acting forces tends to remain unchanged, or they won't put any more effort to bring any further changes in their respective positions. So just with the help of this diagram, you try to understand equilibrium. Suppose we have got a cup with a curvy surface, and just we put something round, an object just from this position. Then what we would notice? We would notice that it would go up to this, then it would come back, again it would go up to this, again it would come back, and a time will come when the round thing would settle at the bottom, and it would not like to change any more its position. So we can say the round object has attained equilibrium. So the same way how a consumer attains equilibrium, we will discuss using two different theories. The first one is called cardinal utility theory, and the second one is ordinal utility theory. I am not going to tell you something more about ordinal utility theory, because in our next class we will be discussing what is ordinal utility theory, which is also called indifference curve approach. But today we are going to discuss about cardinal utility theory. And here in this theory we assume that whenever a consumer consumes something, he derives utility or satisfaction, and the amount of satisfaction and utility can be measured and can be expressed with the help of a number. For example, suppose I consumed one banana, and I can simply assign a number that how much satisfaction, how much utility I derived from the consumption of the banana. Say I received 10. So see, saying I purchased 10 potatoes or I purchased 3 rice, this would be meaningless unless we attach it with some unit. The same way, I can say I purchased 3 kilo of potato, I purchased 5 kilo of rice, I purchased 10 grams of gold, I ran 20 kilometers. So here gram, kilogram, centimeters, all these are units attached with a number to explain the measurability or the measure of something exactly. The same way, according to cardinal utility theory, when we consume something and as a result we derive satisfaction, that we can express the amount of satisfaction that we derived from the consumption with the help of a number and an unit. So number, it could be any rational, it could be any natural number like 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 10, etc. And the unit that we use with the number is util. UTIL. This is the unit that we use to express the measure of satisfaction or utility that we derive out of our consumption. So, cardinal utility analysis, the main points that you must remember is that here the consumer is consuming because why the consumer consumes? Because the goods and services that the consumer is consuming has some want satisfying power, and when the consumer's want is satisfied, he is deriving some satisfaction or utility, and according to cardinal utility theory, we can simply measure the amount of utility the consumer is receiving with the help of a unit called util. So after that, before discussing in detail how the consumer spends and what are the respective utilities the consumer is deriving from his consumption, and what happens if a consumer goes on continuously consuming one after another unit of the product, that we will be discussing in our next class. So before that, we will be sure about some of the peculiar characteristics of utility. I once again repeat, utility is nothing but the want satisfying power of some goods or services that satisfy our want and we derive some satisfaction. So what is utility? We now know very well. And what are the peculiar characteristics of utilities? We have got 5 different points, and one by one we will discuss. The first point says depends upon intensity of want. Utility depends upon intensity of want. Intensity of want means how much urgent our want is, and accordingly we will derive satisfaction from the consumption of that particular good. For example, a hungry person may derive more satisfaction from the consumption of a banana than a person who is not feeling hungry. So, once again the point says depends upon intensity of want. So, higher is the intensity of want, higher would be the want satisfying power or utility or satisfaction the consumer is going to derive from the consumption of that goods and services. Second point, utility is psychological in nature. We cannot see it, we cannot touch it, only utility can be felt by someone, by a consumer especially when he is consuming some goods and services. So it is psychological in nature. It can't be seen, it can't be touched. The third point says changes according to time, place and condition. Need to understand quite clearly about the things that utility changes according to time. Yes, obviously. A person in cold countries, for a consumer in cold countries where the relative temperature is very low, a sweater or a jacket might be more useful for him than a person living around the equator. And according to place, utility changes according to place. In the same goods or services may give us different amount of satisfaction if the place it changes. In Simla, we may need a sweater or a jacket, and in hot areas like say South India, we may not need a sweater or jacket, may not give that much satisfaction. So utility changes according to place and according to condition, according to circumstance. For example, a medicine may give us more satisfaction when we are sick rather than when we are okay. So, utility changes from time to time, place to place and condition or circumstances. The next point is, it is personal in nature. Utility is personal. by consuming one, suppose I like samosa much and my friend like aloo banda much. So I may get more satisfaction by consumption of a samosa than my friend, and he would get more satisfaction by consuming a aloo banda than me. So it is quite personal in nature, utility. Then the last point is both harmful and useful. Utility, this characteristic is more important. How utility is harmful? And if utility is harmful, how at all we are going to consume that goods which is giving a harmful result or harmful utility? Just consider some goods and services which has a negative effect or bad effect, like using of tobacco, like drinking alcohol. So all these things, for a drunkards is satisfied after consuming alcohol. But here we cannot say that alcohol is doing anything good to him. And in this way, utility or one satisfying power of a goods or services might be harmful or it might be useful. Like if we eat Chyawanprash, then obviously we will get a better health. So in this case, consumption of Chyawanprash is useful to us. So all this about cardinal utility analysis, and in our next class we are going to discuss more about cardinal utility analysis with the help of diagrams, and I would advise you to go through the notes that I have already sent and just check what we discussed today with the books and with the notes. And if you are getting any trouble, please don't be shy to contact me over phone or by messaging me. Thank you and have a nice day.